In case you missed it, the news reported that Lil Durk has been denied bail. The judge stated that nothing has changed to warrant release and cited a report alleging that Durk has been violating federal custody regulations by using other inmates' phone accounts and participating in unauthorized three-way calls. Additionally, the official attorney representing the workers was present at the hearing.
Durkio had his bond hearing today. He looked good. He looked like he was in good spirits. No crazy weight gain or anything like that. He looked good. The judge was on the same vibes she was on last time, which is that, wait, they're saying murder for hire. They're saying you put bounties up. They're saying you ordered. They're saying the I'm saying that's going to be no bond. There's basically no argument you can make to this judge in a murder for hire case to get a bond. Is that the prosecution's case has taken two major hits. One, the prosecution has had to abandon their allegation that he rapped and celebrated about this murder, that he put these lyrics out talking about, oh yeah, I got you, you out here screaming no, no, crying in the street. The prosecution had to back away from that allegation. It was proven false. They need that allegation.
As he mentioned, the case is becoming weaker for the prosecutors, especially now that they can no longer use Durk's lyrics as evidence. But it gets even better. Lawyer Mo explains that there's even more the prosecutors had to back off from.
Another allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty for the through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this.
That's also why they hit Durk with a new charge. According to reports, Durk is now facing an additional count in his murder for hire case after a second superseding indictment was filed yesterday. While it's a blow that he's been hit with a new charge. There's also some good news. Prosecutors have removed all references to his song lyrics, which is a big win for Durk. The indictment states, on May 1st, a California grand jury indicted Durk. He's now facing a new charge of stalking resulting in death, related to the death of Wando's cousin in August 2022. This comes on top of the previous charges, one count of using interstate facilities to commit murder for hire, one count of conspiracy, and one count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms. But with the removal of lyrics from the indictment, Durk's legal team is moving quickly. They've already begun filing for another bond hearing. Durk's lawyer has dismissed the charges as baseless, claiming the prosecution relied solely on his lyrics, which they can no longer use.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment that did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part, Adam. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
With little evidence left against Durk, Drew started asking around the rap scene about the songs the feds were trying to use against him. It didn't take long for Drew to realize that those tracks were actually recorded and released before the crime even took place.
Got the indictment, we noticed, and we started hearing from people in the music world. People are like, this doesn't really make sense. That song, those lyrics were done a long time before that. I mean, we were hearing it from all different directions. We were hearing it from studio people. We were hearing it from people that wear suits to work every day, executives. Yep. And so we were like, we got to get to work here. We got to figure this out.
But given the nature of Durk's case, Drew revealed that Durk's lawyer is going all in. They're not considering a plea deal or any kind of compromise. For Durk, it's all or nothing.
You know, likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen like this seems like it's a do or die thing. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it? Just entertain it? Because that's your job to listen to it and maybe present it to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy commitment case. It's an all or nothing case. And he did not participate in a conspiracy to commit. So there is no alternative. A life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to go to 12 people.
Prosecutors are pushing forward with the case for one specific reason. But Durk's legal team is holding firm, leaning on his First Amendment rights. They're arguing that just because Durk said something in his music or online doesn't mean it reflects real-life actions or intentions.
There's a First Amendment argument here, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you could go back and there's country records, and there are pop records, and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying violence, that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, First Amendment has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is...
Even lawyers online are drawing comparisons to Young Thug's case, with many believing that Durk might also have a strong chance at being released.
We've seen it happen quite a bit. I don't know that I'd say it's been persuasive. I think the biggest example we look at is Young Thug down in Atlanta. They took a lot of his lyrics, and even though technically speaking, ultimately they got a conviction, he actually walked out on time served. Most of the people that were prosecuted didn't end up being convicted, and I don't think anybody would call that prosecution a successful prosecution. And so, you've got freedom of speech issues. Does it mean that just because I'm saying something in a rap song, and it typically is a rap song, does that mean that I actually did something? And this is an extra interesting twist here because Lil Durk's attorney is saying, well, this song was actually released months ago.
He also pointed out that the prosecutors clearly don't understand rap culture, which has led to major misinterpretations in the case.
Yeah, and I'll go out on a limb and say that sometimes prosecutors don't necessarily understand hip-hop culture. It's almost like a text without context. So you got to really understand the time, the place, the audience. Sometimes they might speak in ways that seem direct to somebody that's outside of the culture, but doesn't necessarily, but can mean several things to someone inside the culture. So it would certainly be a flub, big time, right? But it wouldn't be the first time that such a thing has happened where somebody looking through the window, particularly of hip hop culture, doesn't understand what's being said other than their desired use of it.
But these new charges against Durk shifted everything, especially since they dropped key evidence involving his lyrics. One line, "Look on the news and see your son," you screaming "no, no" was particularly concerning, as it closely mirrored footage of Quando at the crime scene, seen screaming "no."
Now the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath. No! This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
It really makes you question how much evidence the authorities have against Durk, especially with a recent update revealing over 230 gigs of digital evidence. This includes audio recordings, video footage, and 20,000 pages of reports, all of which are currently being processed for discovery. Jam provided this evidence, and now the feds are using it to potentially add 2 more murder-for-hire charges against Durk. Reports suggest the feds believe Durk paid to have 2 people dealt with. Stephen Mack, who allegedly took out Durk's brother, and Jam's baby mom, who was killed after Durk discovered Jam had been wearing a wire. The feds think Jam could be the key to locking Durk up for all 3 crimes. Durk even noticed something suspicious during an Instagram live: Jam's odd behavior and the way he grabbed his jacket, which made Durk suspect Jam was wearing a wire.
I ain't gonna lie. My whole brain changed. I ain't gonna lie. Feeling like back in the day. Oh, oh, dang. Feeling like you said. He's about.
Check on your man. Know what you got.
I ain't gonna lie, man.
Hey, when I was growing up, I
What happened to the architect?
what happened to dad?
School trying to stop now.
All that whooping on the net got your man.
Let's go.
Months after that Instagram live, Durk stated that he can tell when people around him are cooperating with the authorities.
See shit from a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I can have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your was gonna cooperate.
Durk also spoke out, revealing that he hadn't allowed anyone into his home for an entire year prior to his arrest, highlighting how isolated and cautious he had become.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, because it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the
You say, everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta everybody getting watched. Watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. What to do? Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
What's strange, though, is that Jam, the alleged informant, received $50,000 from Durk in cash 2 years ago. But now he's turning on him and cooperating with the authorities.
What's his name? Steady crying, huh? He's steady crying. Feed him. Feed him.
See that?
Feed
For my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies. I gotta hold my money like this. It's too much. Crazy though. I'm sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. I'm some money. Do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do, what I want. Y'all can do that, bro.
Bro got out what?
You know that
Haven't you did all?
the year that I did it now?
Yeah. That's just let it be. 12. That boy popped out 12 years.
Man.
So much money. We really just get in order to just pick out the lanes, man, boy.